Hello and welcome to my video blog for Saturday, January the 29th. Now, Tuesday night, the president came before the entire nation and delivered the State of the Union address. Now, some, like, Rachel Maddow and a few other folks, thought it was a little too center. It wasn't enough to the left. It wasn't enough to the right. I don't know. I, on the other hand, found it quite satisfying that he played it straight down the middle. It didn't leave me with that full stuffed feeling. Now, this was the first time in which the president was standing before everyone on the congressional floor up in Capitol Hill. And it was quite a thing to see all the red, blue, 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 red, reds all sitting together like a bunch of interracial couples. On date night, that it was called. Yes, that's what it was titled. It was date night on the congressional floor as everybody came together. And some in the Republican Party in Congress and some in the Democrat Party over in the Senate got lucky because they got two dates. Woo! Now, everyone put on their best face of civility, and this week has pretty much played out as, quite normal, quite calm. Very calm, in fact, in comparison to what's happening over in Egypt, and that their entire country is quite a fluster over elections that they had. Now, the entire scene looks very similar to what happened in Iran back in 2009. And that there's a revolution and that people were coming up and really challenging the government over who's elected in and how they got elected in, and really, going after their government because they would like to see their president step down. And that doesn't quite seem like it's going to happen. We'll see what happens along the way. But I know this entire situation is giving some people over in our Tea Party something to think about. Something to ponder. People taking to the streets, calling for revolution, wanting to overtake the government, wanting the president to step down. All I have to say is hold your horses, Tea Party people, because in order to enact revolution, you have to know what it is you're revolting about. You got to know your history. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the fact that let's just go back to what happened on Tuesday night. Now, the president gave his address, and there were two responses. Two. And one of those responses came from Michelle Bachmann. Now, I don't know, was it you or was it me? But I was looking at that whole thing in which Michelle Bachmann was up there talking. And there she was, like, gesturing to the board, like she was auditioning for Wheel of Fortune. And she's doing this and doing that. And her eyes are all directed this way and that way. And at any moment, I was expecting for her to, like, touch the screen and direct a letter. Can I get a cue? Woo, there's a cue. Yeah, that's what it sort of looked like. Now, I know what you're saying. Don't be silly, Sassy. There were two cameras in the room. And it wasn't her fault that the one that was actually delivering the feed out to all of us was not the camera that she was looking at. Yeah, okay, I'll cut her some slack on that. And what she had to say wasn't all that bad. She delivered a very solid message, for what she said. But why was she talking anyway? Come on, it's the president, then it's the official response from the Republican Party. And that official response came from Congressman Paul Ryan. All right, so attention, Tea Party people. You are a part of the Republican Party. Sorry to disappoint you. So there should have been only one person talking, and that's my only commentary about that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of freedom of speech. Here it is. I have a blog, don't I? But I'm not a fan of people who don't know how to stay in their lane. Michelle Bachmann. And I'm not a fan of people who don't know their history. And who am I talking about now? I'm talking about Sarah Palin. Now, listen, I tried to cut Sarah Palin some slack because a couple of weeks ago I was not happy about how folks in the media sort of jumped all over her in regards to the situation in Arizona, and that I felt that they laid a lot of heavy scrutiny at her feet about some things that really weren't entirely her fault. I mean, yeah, she said some things, but I don't think that everything was, was directly related to her. So I really wanted to sort of, cut her some slack on that end. But then she comes out and she says things like blood libel. And I'm like, okay, what? And then she comes out this week and now she's talking about the Soviet Union and talking about Sputnik and how their country is bankrupt because they were trying to go up into space and that bankrupt their entire economy. Now, come on, this is a modern history faux pas. Wrong. I mean, yeah, you got your facts, but they're all a little hazy, a little misconstrued, a little misdirected in terms of how you're sort of bringing about your argument. Not so good, Sarah. And that seems to be part of the course in which she does all the time. So my suggestion is, because this woman almost became vice president, let us not forget about that. My suggestion is going forward, for anyone who's seeking to come into office, they need to be quizzed. Forget reading the fuzzy parts of the Constitution. All of our congressional leaders need to pass a test. Just like civil workers need to pass a test in order to give a government job, all of our congressional leaders need to pass a history test and things directed to our Constitution, which they are looking to uphold. They need to know these things like the back of their hand, not just some of the little pieces and parts of it. And then once you pass that exam, like you do at the DMV, then you get your license, then you are able to actually run for office. Now, this should bring about or definitely lower that whole thing in terms of what? Campaigning and campaign spending, because we won't be wasting our money and dollars on people who really aren't qualified to get into office. You got to know your history. You got to know your facts. And then once you're in office, you need to take little refresher courses and things regarding to your district, because you need to know who's in your district and how your district actually operates. And who am I talking about? Well, you won't run into that scenario that you had with Eddie Bernice Johnson, that congresswoman from Texas, who wanted to give scholarships to people in her family. Oh no, I didn't forget about you, honey. Yeah. So this little change about should definitely put a snap to all of that going on, because ignorance is not bliss unless you're eating at Taco Bell. Now, Taco Bell, poor Taco Bell, they're in the news this week. Yeah, in the news because everybody's trying to figure out what's in those tacos for 99 cents. How are they able to be sold so cheap? Well, some people seem to think that there isn't beef in them. Yeah. Now, Taco Bell has come out. They were on GMA. They ran a whole big page in the paper. And they even have a YouTube video from their company CEO basically saying that, listen, we have seasoned beef and spices. Seasoned beef. Seasoned beef. Now, I'm sort of wondering, would that be winter, summer, spring, or fall season? I gotta know, because I gotta know what I should wear. But I just with your Taco Bell, because not only are they in the media or in the spotlight for a lawsuit, there's also that crazy lawsuit involving Congressman Dennis Kucinich. Now, he ate something from the congressional cafeteria, and there was an olive pit. And this happened about 2 years ago, and now he's has about a suit for $150,000. Now, he has since settled that suit out of court, and he doesn't want to disclose about how much the lawsuit was settled for, but he really took a good beating through the media, and that some people were questioning, like, why is he suing for $150,000? Well, according to the congressman, he didn't have dental insurance and, blah, 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 and he wanted everybody to stop talking about it, and he felt that it was none of their business. And yeah, he's right, it's kind of none of our business, whatever, but when you get down to it, seasoned beef from Taco Bell, olive pits for Dennis Kucinich. Why are we so consumed about the things going into people's mouths? Shouldn't we be more concerned about the talk coming out? Something to think about. I'll see you next time.